Hello, and we are live with another Malts and Meeples. Let me actually verify that that is true. I am Petter, run this channel, and while I wait for my phone to tell me that yes, we are in fact live here, we are in fact live. Perfect. Alright, so, as I said, I'm Petter, run Malts and Meeples, 10 Minute Marvel, and Nerdologist.com. But I'll talk more about that at the end. Today, we're here to drink some beer and play a game. So, last week... Ooh. Well, sometimes you just have to start drinking the beer immediately because it fizzes up. So, last week I played Aeon's End, and I think my plan is to play Aeon's End Legacy the whole way through come starting next week. So just probably work on getting that set up and go through whatever the character creation piece looks like next week. But this week, I have a new game that I got in. But before we get to that, let's talk about this beer. So, Bucket Pale Ale from Outstate Brewing, which is from my hometown of Fergus Falls, Minnesota. This is an okay pale ale. Nothing really stands out about it that much in terms of like, oh my goodness, this, like, the flavor profile is amazing or anything like that. It's just a solid beer. I think when I've talked about this before, since I know I've definitely had this one to drink before, or drink on stream before, it's a little bit too malty, and I feel like it's just the malts muddy up the hops. And when I drink a pale ale, I want something that's somewhat hoppy and then fairly clean and crisp the rest of the way through. But let's go to the table because we have down here Railroad Ink Challenge. And so Railroad Ink Challenge is actually a little bit different because it has challenges. And so, I mean challenges and a whole extra round. So normal Railroad Ink is actually pretty similar to this, where you're trying to connect these routes. You get points for having stuff in the middle. So we have our connected routes, things in the middle, longest road, longest railway. But then we have a few other things down here. So, this one doesn't matter for us. This one is completing these stations at places with buildings. So there's potential for 4 of those spots, a grand total of 8 points. Then we have goal cards. I'll talk about those in a second. And finally, we're just back to the normal of any uncompleted route. It's off the edge. So the goal cards all go for specific rounds, and there are 6 different ones. The first one that I flip over will be for round 3. Ugh, I hate that one. 4 and 5. So I can actually jot down the letters here. B, A, and E. And if I get them in the round that I'm supposed to, so if I have 3 stations built on houses at the end of 3 rounds, then I get 4 points. If I do it at the end of 4 rounds, I get 2. And of 5 rounds or later, I get 1. In round 4, I need to have 5 filled in this middle section. And then in round 5, I need a 3x3 square that is solidly filled in. And they all have the same points, so 4, 2, 1. And it works the same otherwise, basically. Some of the shapes are a little bit different, but we'll see them as we go. So this is my opening roll. So I want to try and get this onto one of these house locations, which I have to decide which one looks best. So you still mark down round 1. I'm going to do with... This is an overpass, not a station. But then I'm going to put my station here. So I fill in 1 dot. Then I have these 2 left. And there are a few other spots on the board that I'll talk about when I get to them. This one, I'm going to go here. No, I don't want to do that. I want to go the other way, actually. Because now I have another station down here. And then I'm just going to continue my road. That's 1 turn. We'll probably play through a couple of games here, maybe 3. Alright, so we have some fun stuff here. So I'm going to go with this one, because that gets me another station. And this is round 2, so that's annoying. I'm actually going to go right here, because my goal is to connect this up. And I'm not going to use any special ones yet. So now you get to see one of the new shapes, which this one is lovingly referred to as the baseball, because it looks like stitching on a baseball. It's two train tracks that don't intersect at all. Well, that actually works out pretty well for me. But now, okay, that actually works out really well for me, because I can go and now have these 2 connected and those 2 connected, but those 2 are separate, which doesn't matter too much for points. But now I can go and place this last station here to have completed my objective here in round 3 by having 4 towns built. Of course, I did that. I'm not really set up that well for the 5 in this center area. So that's going to require a little bit of work from me to make happen. I think I can, but let's see. So I've used all of these. Just need to fit in one more down here somewhere. It doesn't really matter too much, so I think I'm going to do it right here. So here I have completed a university, which fills in one dot up here. So I can use 3 of these, 1 per turn, and when I fill in all 3 of these dots, I then get the ability to use another one of them. And I'm actually going to use one right now, because in round 4 I needed to have 5 filled in the center section. I have my 5. That gets me 4 points. And now I can also look and see, okay, how am I doing on that 3x3 square? If I fill in that, I get it. If I fill in that, I get it. Otherwise, I have to fill in these 3. So not too bad, actually. So we're on to round 5. Don't really want to use any of them there or there, because that guarantees me dead ends. So it probably makes most sense to use them down here. So why don't I start with that overpass. Then we're going to do that, which gives me a factory, which I'll explain how factories work here in a second. Basically, factories... Oh, hey, I'm up to... No, I'm correct on where I'm at there. Factories allow you to duplicate something you've already put down. So, I've already used all these dice. I'm going to reuse this one. Oh, and I forgot to cross out that guy, so that I can place it there, which then gives me another way that I'm connected. So what I've done thus far, I haven't quite completed it, I need to get this group to connect to the rest, because that will give me a really big series of connections. Oh yeah, and I did complete my, or did I complete my 5x5? Or 3x3? I did not. So before I do look at this roll, I am going to spend another one of these, as much as it pains me, because it does dead end. So that's a guaranteed negative point right there. But now I have my 3x3, so I get my 4 points. Now we'll bring these back in and look what we can do. So I'm going to go with that. Basically, what I'm looking to do right here is I have this T. I'm actually going to adjust the angle over to here for one main reason. So now everything's connected, which which is great. I'm going to put this junction, or this station, right here, which gives me another one I can place. So when I do, which one do I, where do I want to place something here? Let's do this here. And then I'm actually going to copy it to go right to there. So now that one's dead to me. Nothing I'm going to be able to do with that. But I'm on to roll 7. Oh yeah, I do have the second university. So I'm looking now to kind of get a third one over here probably. Or over here. Tricky. Because it'd be really handy to have one more of those things. Oh, what happens if I do... On turn 7, I'm going to then use that overpass I can turn this right down into there so it doesn't dead end anywhere. It just doesn't hit a station, which allows me to complete that. I still have 2 to do, plus I can use one of those which I will over here with this one. So normally I'd be a little bit less likely to use this, but it doesn't actually increase the number of dead ends I have. In fact, I could use it to reduce it by 2, or I can connect another route in. I'm probably going to connect the other route just because it reduces the dead ends by 1, but then also connects another thing. So that is 7 rounds. Now we look to figure out what the score is. So starting with how many of these exits have I connected, and every single one I have connected is connected to the main trunk. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Not bad. 8 gets you 28. Now I need to find my longest road, which I think is, well, might be here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 versus 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So yeah, longest road is 9. Then I'm looking for my longest railway, which looks like it's going to be here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then in the center, I have the full 9. Oh yeah, I forgot to note down that I finished the last one there. So I get 8 of those. Full bonus here. But now this is where I'm going to start to lose points. This is actually a really good game for me at this point. There's an app for this, which is great. Check out Railroading Challenge app on Steam, iOS, and Android. And my weakness tends to be that I end up with a lot of dead ends. But let's look. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I had that one already circled. 7, 8. Yeah, that's it. Everything else runs off the edge of the board. So we got a -8. So if we just cancel those two out, that's 40, 58, solid 66 points. So on the app, I have seen people score, or I've seen the numbers of people who have scored into the 90s, and the app does all the scoring for you. So if they're scoring in the 90s, they legitimately are scoring in the 90s. And I'm going to leave this one on the sheet, mainly for my own tracking purposes, but also just to see how well I do in my next game. Shuffle all of these together and pull out a different set. It could be the exact same set. We have A, so the first thing we have to do is B. Oh man, that sucks. So A, B, D. So turn 3, we need to have 5 in the middle already. Then turn 4, we want to have 3 towns basically built up with stations in them. And then so 3, 4, and then 5, we need to have 1, 2, 3 of the corners with stuff in them. I wouldn't have been able to do the corners for sure last time. So let's see what we got. The upside of the corners, though, is that there is that bonus and that bonus for the corners. I have to decide if I want to start with the corners now or work my way towards the middle. I'm going to work my way towards... Oh, I hate to block myself off from that corner, though. So why don't I start... We'll start with a corner here, actually. Because I can baseball that corner. And then get a station, one of the 3 I need. And I have this turn, which I'm not into the middle yet, but I'm getting closer. And I'm actually going to use one of these abilities right away because there's just very specific things needed to fill that one. So I might as well just get something connected. And so there's one actually of these challenges that has you making a loop, which I would have, but of course that's not one of them that I need. So now we're looking to get our 5 in the middle. Perfect. We have over here our second station. And then let's do just run this one straight through. We have our first university. So turn 3, we only need to get one more in the middle here, which is nice. We're using our second special piece. The reason for that is I have this dead end that I want to put there, because that for sure will get me my 4 points for that second one. And I just need to fill in one more down here, so I'm going to do the overpass. So I've hit the goal for that one on round 3. And then not bad, not bad. What I'm shooting for now, though, is to get those 3 corners. And I have a couple rounds to do that, which is nice wiggle room to play with. Oh, freaking baseball. Don't want to use it there. Let's use it over here, I guess. Oh wait, did I actually hit? I did actually hit my 3 stations. Phew. I hadn't marked it down, which is why they have you do it. So this gives me the ability to copy one of the shapes, which actually will copy as this one. So now the only thing left is to place that baseball, which I could dead end something here and take it towards the corner, so I have more use and reason to go into the corner. So I'm going to do that. That's a guaranteed dead end. I'm not going to use a special ability yet, but I have it in my back pocket so I can get that corner. And, well, one more if I need to, which I do. So I'm going to create use those 2 there, create another end, but I'm actually going to adjust how we put that one in since it is a T shape. So the only one left is this, which I don't want to use in that corner. Got all my corners on turn 5, and I can duplicate one of these shapes. I still have to use this guy too, which that dead ends there, so I don't really want to dead end here. Let's just dead end you here. Which shape do I want to reuse? This doesn't do me any good up here, would cause a dead end. Here would cause a dead end. Maybe I do want to actually keep this one turned this way so that I can use the T shape again. Now I could flip it the other way to potentially get to this spot, but that creates a dead end, which is kind of like I was saying, that's one of the things you want to be avoiding if you can. So turn 6. Yeesh. I guess we go. Do the double baseball. Or the baseball. Get another one of these. I really want to get that. I haven't used my third yet, so might as well. So there we go. That leaves me with those two left. Well, I'm gonna go here to get another one, because there's only one thing that can actually fit right here, which is this shape. So that leaves me with this one, which if I'm going to put it here, because that gets me a road headed the right way. It allows me to copy something. What, I'm not sure though, because like I need a turn junction here, just a regular turn there. Let's do so we won't be able to fill in both this and this. Hopefully I'll be able to get one. Which I did. So I can take this. And now I have these guys. There's nothing that I can really connect to. I could have connected this or that one up here, but that actually cost me points because I would have had an unconnected one down there. So, can't connect here. It's a bad plan to connect there. Can't connect there, can't connect there. Oh, we do have a dead end there. So you're going to be a dead end for sure. You and you and you will all be dead ends. So if I go that one there, no, taking that back. I can't actually use this one here though, because it's going to connect to the road, which is an illegal connection. So let's instead do, then we'll do the baseball, which gives me a corner. Alright, there we go. This, I think, will be my last game. It's been about 35 minutes or so. But let's look at the scoring. So, every exit, I mean, you're not connected, but every exit that is connected does connect. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 this time. So 32. Longest road is going to be here. So let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And railway, though, is going to be a lot of fun. I can start here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Nice. This is going to help me a lot because I scored less in here, only have 7. Buildings scored less, only have 6. Still got all 12 there. And let's circle those last few pesky dead ends. I think that should be all of them. We'll look as we go. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So let's do the math here. That's 22, 54, 60, 72, 79, minus 9, for a score of 70. So you can see two different setups there. Different setups, two different sets of rolls. Pretty close actually, points-wise. I got all my challenges both times, which is big. But yeah, that's Railroad Ink. Challenge. Let me flip back to the main camera here. Let me know what you think of this. This is an app that I have been loving to play and just came out recently from Horrible Guild. And this game actually has just come out recently as well from Horrible Guild. They're quickly becoming one of my favorite board game companies because they just have a lot of fun ones out there. They don't make massive games, but they do a really good job of making fun games. Railroad Ink. is obviously maybe their biggest one, with now Railroad Ink. Challenge as well, but they also have made Similo, which I have coming in the mail. I wrote about that not too long ago on a Point of Order episode article on Nerdologists. They made Potion Explosion, which is a really fun potion making game, marble moving game, kind of like a lot of app games where you try and pull out, or like you pick a marble or something and you're trying to get light colors to hit. That's kind of what Potion Explosion is based off of, and it's a ton of fun. And then fairly recently, they kickstarted Tiny Turbo Cars, which I backed because it again looks like one of those silly fun games with really high levels of toy factor, which toy factor does not hurt a game. That is for sure. And that one, you are racing basically RC cars across a living room type floor, and you have a little controller that you're sliding stuff around, kind of like those sliding puzzles where you're trying to slide them into the correct positions so that you can make the picture. Well, in this case, you have, I think it's 4x4 that you're sliding around, and you're trying to get those middle 2 rows to do what you want to do. And you go from that second row down all the way on the left side. You just do the commands you've programmed in order, and you're seeing how far you can get ahead and go on there. You can fire missiles, you can jump stuff, you can do all sorts of fun things, and it's basically a hectic race to the end where you program. When somebody's done, they'll get like the first player token, which means they get to go first, which means nobody else can block their way, causing them to take damage if they bump into something. But the longer you take to program, you can maybe program something better. Granted, if you're the last person, it costs you a battery, which is basically your health, and then you are counted down from 10. Like the second the last person goes, you have 10 seconds left to finish it up, and you might not be able to pull off what you want. So I'm really excited for that one. I'm excited for the toy factor of it. I think they might still have on Tabletop Simulator that set up, and you can actually, or could actually download like a little app. I think there was a QR code that would show up when you pulled it up on Tabletop Simulator, and that would bring you to a download of the controller. Ooh, excuse me. And then you would program it on your phone, and that app is actually still going to be something that's available when the game comes out, or you can use the physical controller thing, which I'm excited for. But anyways, enough about Horrible Guild. Great company. Let's wrap up this for tonight because I have an episode of Loki to watch. Just want to thank you all for joining me. Down in the information description, there we go, there's links for everything else that I do, which is, like I said at the beginning, there's this YouTube channel, there's 10 Minute Marvel podcast that I do, which is, I was going to watch Loki anyways, but now it gives me a chance to talk about it, as well as the nerdologists.com website, where I am posting articles daily, fairly often 2 articles a day, so definitely check that out. And then finally, there's a Patreon as well if you want to help support this channel as well as those 2 other things financially. That is a great way to do so, and we have a bunch of fun reward levels. Check them out. And with that, bottoms up.